Hey you guys, it is Monday night and that means it's time for...
Let's talk about...
And let me ask you a question.
What's going on with my voice?
That was my question. But have you ever had one of those times when all the electrical appliances in your house start burning out and going crazy and shutting down and blowing up? Have you ever had that?
Don't we have that like every week at our house?
Have you ever had one of those times where your kids are just rampaging around and going crazy and you've had a gutful and you say, that's enough?
Yes.
We have the oil blend to help you in both those situations. It's called...
Grounding.
Yes. So if you're an electrician or a parent, we've got you covered. But that's not really what it's about.
Isn't that what that stick thing is in the ground out there? Where the electrical wires come into our house? It's the grounding rod or something?
But actually, that's quite appropriate. I actually looked up a good definition of grounding, because we talk about it, don't we? We want to feel more grounded, or we feel like we're, all over the place, just need to be grounded. Here's the definition: mentally and emotionally stable, sensible, realistic. If you're a parent,
think everybody needs this oil.
Yeah.
We should sell truckloads of this stuff.
Yeah,
Everyone
but mentally and emotionally stable, sensible, realistic, and unpretentious are some of the definitions. So
this oil is actually one of those oils that Gary designed for a purpose. Okay, so you'll often hear us say in Young Living,
which is all of them,
that we're purpose over profit. And the fact is, this particular oil, he had a number of patients that were coming into his clinic at the time who had been going through divorce, separation, the loss of a child, other kinds of grief, and they just wanted to check out. They were basically stuck emotionally and they were ready to leave. And so Gary was like, I need to create something to help them, to hold them in place, to anchor them, or otherwise they're going to check out. And so this oil was what he came up with to help ground them. Okay, so it actually has a whole heap of tree oils in it, because for those of you who've heard me talk before, if you want to be uplifted, then you choose the things at the top of the plant, so your leaves and your flowers. But if you want grounding and you want to be grounded, then you need to choose trunk oils or root oils. Okay, essential oils that come from the trunk or from the root.
So what? So let's talk about some of those big tree oils, because there's a bunch of them out there. Cedarwood.
Yes. So cedarwood's for the brain, and great for sleep as well. So it's a calming oil. You mix it with lavender and orange and it makes great sleep oil, but definitely great for the brain.
High in sesquiterpenes?
Yes.
It is very, very high.
Great for very active kids too, because it helps ground them, okay? Remember, those big tree oils are great for this.
Yep. So what else have we got? Pine?
Yeah, so pine and
spruce.
White fir and black Northern Lights black spruce, once again, all tall tree oils. Then you've got juniper. The reason that Gary put juniper in this was because the Native Americans often told stories about using juniper in their ceremonies to actually do grounding and for energetic work. So that's why he kind of chose juniper. And then so out of the 7 oils that are in this, 5 are tree oils and 2 are not. One is Angelica, which is a root. Okay, so remember, the root of the plants are very grounding as well. And the other one?
Ylang.
Yes, the other one's Ylang.
Which is a flower.
Yeah. So, basically that's the blend in a nutshell. This particular blend you can wear as a perfume, but what I like to do with it is a grounding exercise. So I'm going to give you 1 drop in your palm. Yep. Remember, oils don't come out.
And this one's
you
quite
told me there was oil in this, Jeremy. I got you to check.
There is oil in here, but it's actually quite a thick blend, you'll find.
It doesn't actually come out of the hole in the middle, so we're just... Never work with children and animals.
Or me.
I said, make sure to check because I'm going to do something with it today. And maybe I'll just take the lid. So I use the cap to get that little stopper out of it. And then there is a tiny little bit in here. Let's see if I can... there you go, 1 drop.
Okay.
And I'm going to do 1 drop as well. So the thing about when you do grounding exercises, it's always good to get in touch with all of your senses. So obviously this helps with your sense of smell, because you're going to be able to inhale it, but you also want to do touch, okay? So we're going to touch, so we're going to energize the oil by going around 3 times. And we're actually going to close our eyes, okay? And we're going to inhale it deeply 3 times.
Oh, that smells so good.
Smells very Christmas tree-ish because it's
it
really
does,
like a
yeah.
Christmas tree. So after you've inhaled it 3 times, what I want you to do is really get in touch with your body, and I want you to imagine that there are roots growing out of the bottom of your feet or even out of your bum if you're sitting down, and going deep, deep, deep into the ground, okay? Because remember those big tall trees, the junipers, the cedarwoods, actually I don't know if juniper's that big, but you know, the big tall trees, going deep, deep into the ground. So just imagine those roots breaking through the ground, holding you in place, anchoring you. Stopping you from swaying. Feel your core. So this oil is actually really great to put on your solar plexus. So what I want you to do, if you can, if you're not wearing a dress, is to put the oil over your solar plexus. So roughly where your belly button is. So if you've got a shirt on, just lift up your shirt and put it over your belly button. And hold it in place. And keep taking those deep breaths, getting the oxygen going right down. Even getting the breath to travel right down to the bottom of your toes and even further into the ground where you've just planted those roots to keep you strong and in place. I love to do this standing up and even standing on grass so that you're earthed and really, really feeling that grounding experience. Just take a few minutes to listen, tapping into your auditory senses and being able to hear any noises that might be outside or going on in the room that you're sitting in. Try to travel outside the room that you're sitting in to whatever's happening outside. All right. And then bring your awareness back into this room and back into your body. And when you're ready, open your eyes.
Yeah.
Do you feel calm?
I do. I feel really calm. Yeah.
Grounding exercises work really, really well for your parasympathetic nervous system. So when you're stressed, you've got your sympathetic
Fight and flight's happening.
Sympathetic nervous system is in overdrive, and it's what activates us, whereas what you want is your parasympathetic nervous system to be calming you down, to ground you. And I guess it's a great oil, and particularly at the moment with our kids heading back to school and having to, depending on where you live, especially in New South Wales, we're having to do testing twice a week in the mornings, things like that. If your child is feeling a bit anxious about going back to school and about everything that's going on, do this exercise with them. Get them to stand with their feet apart, preferably on some grass. Get them to inhale the oil just like we did. Get them to hold their belly, their core, the other good place is the base of the neck, so on your throat chakra. So they're the 2 chakras for these oils, the solar plexus and the throat chakra. You can also do it if you're angry and you want to calm down, because remember, grounding, calming, it's good for that as well. And just bringing in balance, more balance in your life. So grounding is great for that. I like to use it alternatively with Valor. So if I'm having to speak or give a presentation, a job interview, anything like that, and particularly because usually before I do a presentation, anyone who's seen me, I'm usually running around like a crazy person and I'm not grounded, and I just need to do that little exercise that we just showed you so that I come back into my body, back into my mind, and my mind is able to focus. It's not running at 1,000,000 miles an hour because I've come into my body and not staying up there in my head. So if you're like me and you feel like you're mind is racing, and often my mouth goes faster than my brain goes faster than my mouth, and I do that calming exercise that we just showed you. So hopefully that helps.
That's good.
And you try out some grounding.
We did miss one sense though.
Oh, the taste.
Yeah, no, I was going to say just take just lick someone
It's
close
not
to
a
you.
culinary
Lick
oil.
someone close to you.
There you go. All right, we will see you next week for some harmony. Now, being a Libran, I love balance and harmony. So, you know, this is my oil, one of my faves.
Being Taurus, I'm just full of bull. Is that
Yes,
what you keep
that's
telling
right.
me? Alrighty, you guys.
Thanks.
We'll
see you next week.
next time.
Bye.